Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to share a few things with you today. And the first thing I want to share with you is what I would do if I actually wrote letters. One letter I would write would be a thank you note to the person that sold me this pen on eBay. And if I were to write a letter, it would start up like this. Oh, dear Jerome. And as you can tell, I'm having some problems with skipping with this nib, and it's because I didn't put it back in right. I should have figured that out when I cleaned it, put a new sack in it, and I did not. I need to do some tweaking. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. That's not why I'm... that's not the subject of this video, is my laziness and ineptitude in repairing pens. I know how to do that. I am still lazy, though. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if I were to write a letter, I would send this guy a letter saying thank you so much for the pen. But even better than the pen, which is pretty darn sweet, excruciatingly fine nib that is really, really fun to write with, except I need to tweak it a little bit. Anyway, even better than this, if you can you imagine something better than this? Well, you don't have to imagine, because I'm going to show you. That pen right there came in this box. Now this is a box, and as you can see, you know, it has my address on it, and his address here. And it didn't cost any money to send it, but because he used stamps, $2, $1, 13 cents, and I thought these were all just glued on, you know, canceled stamps that he had in his collection, he just glued on. Well, no, these are real stamps that were uncirculated, unpostmarked, and so all of these plus all of those numbers add up to what he needed to send me the package. But wait, there's more. There's even more. Can you imagine something even better than this? All of these stamps on the back also were needed to add together to, you know, send this package to me. So I'm going to have to find him on eBay and buy something that's really, really heavy, so I get a huge box completely covered with stamps. So he's thinking outside the box by including postage not only in the upper whatever corner, right-hand corner, but he's also using the back, which I don't think you're supposed to do, but he informed me that he does this, and the reason he does this, he said, is he's helping stamp collectors of the world out, because he's very careful about having these things postmarked without smudging them, you know, and he oversees that. But another thing that's sort of nice about this package is immediately, not only, you know, does it contain a lovely pen, but it's beautifully put together. But you go back and you remember a time when life was simpler, and it cost only 3 cents to send a stamp. But you look back and you sort of see the history of the United States in these little images. Stamps are really quite fun. I'm not a stamp collector, but if I did collect stamps, it's right up my street. And as you can see, my street is right there. It's right up, well, I'll talk about stamps in a second. But first of all, this is, thank you very much, Mr., for sending me this and making me smile, which isn't always easy these days. So this is thinking outside the box. Other people that think outside the box are people that send me letters and they put the stamps in weird places. Now this one was, I don't know who sent it to me, but there you go. And this made it through the mail without being canceled, any of these stamps, but you know, they thought outside the box in terms of how they placed them. Another person who thinks outside the box sent me this. Gustafson, Good Service, 1 Fitchburg, Somerville, Ma. This is a calligrapher friend of mine, and that's how he composed the artwork that he sent me. So that's pretty cool. This is, you know, lovely to get. And here, I think these were contemporary stamps in 1995. I'm not quite sure, but it's beautiful when you get lovely envelopes with beautiful lettering, of course. Another artist friend of mine sends me postcards, and this is what they look like. They're completely filled with wording, and sometimes it's just this textural thing that I get in the mail, which is quite lovely. Sometimes he has fun with the stamps as well, you know, composing them on the page, and that's kind of cool. He loves filling up the envelope with my name or the name of whoever he's sending them to. And it almost looks like, you know, he's a child, but he's quite not a child. But I want to show you some of his letters he sends me. I'm not going to let you read them, but this is what they look like. Yo, Mr. Peer. A tardy and inadequate note to send 1 billion thank yous for the whatever. And that's quite lovely. Another one of his where he completely fills up the page is this thing. I got a letter from him on this paper that is just gossamer light, like dragonfly wings turned into paper. Another one that one of my favorite letters I got from him is this one. And it's upside down. There's 1 word per line. 225. Hello, me friend. I'm sorry that I didn't whatever make it to the party, etc. And on the back side, this is really cute. Each of these little squares is a factoid that he's conveying. You know, nothing. Stared at the TV, looked up at the moon in the sky, in the skylight, turned it off. The TV off, not the moon. And then here's another factoid that goes this way. And it, you know, what fun is that to get a letter that looks like that? Okay, I'll continue showing. Back to the first one I showed you is, no, that's not what I wanted to show you. Where did they go? Okay, here's another one, sort of interesting, the way the way he writes. Another beautiful pen collector calligrapher sent me this. And Pierre, son of Gustav, and Pierre Gustafson, and Pierre, son of Gustav. Pen God. You know, just again thinking outside the box. This is not going to go through the machine. It has to be, you know, hand canceled, hand dealt with. And I hope that, you know, this might keep your postal service from killing each other, or it might cause them to kill each other. I don't know. The jury's out on that. Finally, I'm going to just show you another guy, like the first one I showed you. This is another pen collector friend of mine who uses old stamps to create a composition on the page. And one of the things I did for him was to create something that looks like a postage stamp that actually is his return address. And I've done that for a number of people, and I'll talk about that more on a different video. But so he, commissioned me to do that, design that for him. And that brings me to some other stamps that I made. And again, I made some, these are called Cinderellas. They're fake stamps. Clearly we don't have a stamp, though we should, that says justice for most, which is what our justice system is about, not justice for all. That doesn't work. Justice for most. And I am inspired by actual stamps in some cases, and I create images that look like stamps. They don't say USA, they don't have a number of cents, so I'm not forging, and I can't be arrested for forging, but I create things that look like stamps, and they're put along with real postage, and people have a lot of fun with them. And I would print them out. Here's two more stamps. I print them out on Avery label making paper and cut them down so they're peel and stick. And I made a whole series of them, about 60 different designs, for an art show that we had here in my art building about the diversity of desire for Gay Pride weekend, which was 20 years ago at least, it seems. So I created stamps that fit in that category. Things that had to deal with S&M, things that had to deal with three-ways, things that had to deal with all sorts of sexual things that had to do with diversity of desire. That was the name of the show. And I also did some political things too, like this one is the Scouts Dishonor. So the be intolerant, not be prepared, but be intolerant, and it's the merit badges, and the little thing that goes through the arrow there is the gay pink triangle with the red line going through. And so that's one of the merit badges, because at the time when I made this stamp, the United States Boy Scouts were banning gay men from being scout leaders because they were intolerant. So be intolerant, there's the scout symbol. Scouts Dishonor is what it says. Another one I made was the Human Genome Project and discovery of the gay gene. So you have all of the things in this helix, and the gay gene is the one that's done in tasteful cursive lettering right there. So I made about 60 of these, 60 designs, things from Spanker, Spanky, and stuff. And it was just really, really fun. Let me just show you another, if I can find it. Hold on. And of course I can't. Oh well. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you the simple joys of getting an envelope in the mail, not only that contains a beautiful letter, but it contains all these beautiful pictures. And thank you very much, Jerome, for making me go down memory lane, not only the United States history memory lane, but also my own personal memory lane, and remembering other people who made me very happy with their artistic use of the envelope. And they're pushing the envelope literally and figuratively and everything else. So thank you very much. If I wrote a letter, I would say, thank you very much. Maybe I should write you a letter. but I'll post this instead. Thank you.